From the suburbs of Paris to the heartlands of Pennsylvania, a political shift is sweeping across the West. A growing number of people are turning away from mainstream liberal parties and embracing a new wave of right-wing populism, leaders who promise strength, security, and national identity. For many, this feels like a backlash. For others, it's a correction. But one thing is certain: something is breaking in the political order we've known for decades. In this video, we explore why the right is rising, not just in America, but across Europe. And we ask, why are traditional democratic parties failing to connect with the people they once claimed to represent? For decades, liberal and center-left parties promised progress, equality, opportunity, a better future. But for millions of working-class families, those promises were never fulfilled. Jobs disappeared, communities hollowed out, crime rose, costs went up, and the leaders who were supposed to help seemed more concerned with Twitter debates and international summits than with everyday people. Voters began to ask, who's really fighting for us? And increasingly, the answer wasn't the Democrats in America or the Social Democrats in Europe. Right-wing parties across the world began speaking a different language. They didn't talk in abstractions. They didn't use academic jargon. They talked about crime, jobs, border security, and family values. They said, "We see you, we hear your fears, and we're not afraid to act." In France, Marine Le Pen's national rally surged in popularity, especially among the young and working class. In Italy, Giorgia Meloni rose to power on a platform of national pride and traditional values. In the United States, Donald Trump's message of America First resonated with millions of disillusioned voters, not just conservatives, but also former Democrats who felt left behind. So why did the liberal establishment collapse? It wasn't one moment. It was a slow erosion. Progressive parties became obsessed with identity politics, corporate partnerships, and virtue signaling, often at the expense of their traditional base. Instead of fighting for fair wages and safe neighborhoods, they became known for hashtags and activist slogans. Instead of protecting free speech, they began policing it. Instead of championing ordinary people, they often talked down to them, labeling concerns about immigration or crime as bigoted or uninformed. The result? A growing number of voters felt alienated, even betrayed. Across Western cities, crime is rising, and so is the sense of insecurity. In the United States, many cities have seen violent crime return to levels not seen since the 1990s. In Sweden and Germany, migrant-linked gang violence has shocked longtime residents. In France, civil unrest, riots, and tensions over national identity have become commonplace. Meanwhile, people feel like the political elite is more interested in diversity quotas than in their safety, like they're being told to celebrate change, even as their communities fall apart. This climate of fear and frustration has created fertile ground for strongman leaders, people who promise law, order, and clarity. Western liberalism once stood for freedom, dignity, and individual rights. But somewhere along the way, it became a culture of censorship and moral policing. The backlash was inevitable. In schools, parents grew frustrated by what they saw as political indoctrination. In workplaces, employees felt silenced by speech codes and DEI initiatives. In media, dissenting voices were often labeled as hateful or extreme, even when they raised valid concerns. People didn't feel represented. They felt controlled. So they rebelled, quietly at first, then at the ballot box. Surprisingly, it's not just older voters turning right. In many cases, it's the young. Gen Z and millennials, who grew up watching political chaos and economic instability, are becoming increasingly skeptical of liberal orthodoxy. They're not inspired by corporate-sponsored pride parades or celebrity-endorsed causes. They want order, stability, purpose. They're asking different questions. What is truth? What is the role of tradition? What does it mean to be part of a nation? And in that search, many are turning right. The mainstream media once shaped public opinion. Today, it often lags behind it. On platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and X, alternative voices are rising. Influencers, commentators, and thinkers who challenge the dominant narrative. Some are extreme. But many are just people saying what millions are thinking. Something is wrong. The more the old institutions try to silence or mock these voices, the stronger they grow. Censorship backfires. Cancel culture creates martyrs. And every time a dissenting view is shut down, trust in the system erodes a little more. This isn't just an American phenomenon. Across the Western world, the story is the same. In the Netherlands, in Poland, in Hungary, in Germany, right-wing parties are gaining ground. They're fueled by immigration debates, economic pressures, and cultural upheaval. Even in traditionally progressive countries like Sweden and Finland, populist movements are becoming major players in government. And the old parties, they're either scrambling to adapt or fading into irrelevance. What we're witnessing isn't just a swing to the right. It's a political realignment, one that exposes the failure of the post-Cold War liberal consensus. For decades, that consensus promised open borders, globalization, and cultural progressivism. But in practice, it delivered higher costs, social fragmentation, and growing fear. So now, a new force is rising. Not perfect, not always polished, but powerful. The question is, will the liberal establishment listen and adapt, or continue to ignore the people it once claimed to speak for? Because if it doesn't, the right will continue to rise, and the old order will keep collapsing, one election at a time.